Let's now look at lever number 2, spending too much on fulfillment. On the same 3 or 4 revenue categories that you just defined, I now want you to go bucket by bucket and take a look at what are you spending to fulfill on each of those kinds of sales. Probably the biggest one is going to be labor. There's an old expression that overhead walks on 2 feet. Well, we're not exactly necessarily talking to overhead here, but we are talking about the blend of direct and indirect costs that do go towards fulfilling. Now that could be labor, that could also be any materials that you need to include. For example, if you are a coach consultant again, and you're bringing on a new client and you send them a shirt or a hat or a mug or something as a thank you for joining your program, that would be an example of a physical product that is an expense every time you bring in a new client. Once again, as you look at those 4 buckets, you'll probably see that 1, maybe 2 of your buckets is incredibly inexpensive to fulfill. And then there's probably 1, maybe 2 buckets that are incredibly expensive to fulfill. So you can start seeing how when you combine lever number 1, which is cost of acquisition, with lever number 2, cost of fulfillment, you start putting those together and you start seeing the magic of where you can start locating some very high margin sales in your business. And again, I say probably you want to divest out of very expensive buckets because we don't know for sure. We again have to look at the overall picture to see what is the total cost to acquire, fulfill, and then even into overhead. So make sure you're looking at the big picture as you think about pulling any one of these 10 levers.